Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Columbus Caps and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with their opponents. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Columbus club, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Set for football now on a rainy Sunday afternoon. And off we go from Tampa. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And when you scout him on tape, you see the big wind-up delivery. But one other thing I noticed, when it's time to turn it loose, to let that ball go, it gets out of his hands quickly at that point and gets from A to B, B being the receiver, with some dispatch.
Ready. Blue ready. Let me go.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Ready. Blue ready.
On second down, Hyde. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Easy. Ready. Back 25 behind.
From the gun, Winston. He's got Evans. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Hyde. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Let's go now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Ready. White 25.
Off the play fake, Winston. He'll buy some time right, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
He'll field this at the 5. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And they'll go on the ground. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 31 yards there and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Reese. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the counter, this is high. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll give to Hyde. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they'll run it here. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you wonder, can you get...
And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And the Buccaneers have it. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan. But this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Handoff comes to Hyde. And oh, the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a first down.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover for his squad.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Ready. Blue ready.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Ready.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Over! Set!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 18. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Boy. Not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. First carry now for Jordan Howard. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. They're going to look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Over!
He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Howard. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. There was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go with the keeper, and he will push forward and pick up the 1st down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and able to stick the ball forward to pick up 1st downs.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays that that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. It took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So one quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Columbus football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll set up a throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal, eluding the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A good pickup there, a 22.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Ready? Let's go. Let's go.
They go play action. Winston. And the pressure gets to him again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long.
Ready? Flags.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. This is Howard on second down. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Second down a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. That's taken on the 25. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Ready. Blue ready.
Play fake. Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Black 22.
3rd and long for Winston. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Ready. Blue ready.
Play action now. Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. David Irving in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On 3rd down. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40.
Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Carl Nassib in there to get him for a loss of 5. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Looking downfield for Godwin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this 1st half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
Holding. Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in them.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And Brate has it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Back to throw. And down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul. Stop him for a loss of a couple.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the right side, he's got Cooper, it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. He takes it to the 15, a nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun! 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 Gun!
Back to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready! White 25!
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll kick things off with a trip up to Ford Field. Detroit hosting Chicago in an NFC North battle. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears looking to get off to a hot start, and a road win would help them do just that. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The Chiefs trying to start the season right, and is looking good so far at home. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against him.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. On play action, Winston. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. The give is to Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. From the gun, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
To me, there's nothing like watching rookie effort in the NFL. So excited to be there. They're going to give you the max on each and every play, aren't they?
Well, he proved himself on that catch, that's for sure.
I think he may have proved himself to the point where he's going to get a 2nd here.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! All right, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking deep in the direction. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They give him a gain of 38. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, They say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
A give to Jones, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. 3rd down here.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This is Jones. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right side. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Following the interception, Winston. And Braith, the tight end's got it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Jones. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They're looking at third and a few inches. And they'll run it here. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Now let's go. Green 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up a throw. And an alley to run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 36. yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Ready, blue ready.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. He's got Evans. And that one good for 16 yards and a 1st. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they get cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the...
Is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Ready,
Again, it's Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was and don't get anywhere near it.
Defensively, he's hit and taken down in the backfield. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
Green 39, green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here we go. 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll drop to throw. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage. So
Possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Ready. Blue landed.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And his throw here's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sign of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more...
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Carl Nassib in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. And he'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
When we start looking for big-time corners, we're going to start with athleticism. But without technique, you're not going to make plays as one we just saw there.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So they bring out their punter. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all of that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for our visitors, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.